difference being here that the thing that everybody knows, Jared Kushner is a part of the White House, Don Jr., Paul Manafort, they are not. Andrew, is this the smoking gun here that shows collusion?
Well, it certainly shows that the Trump campaign and Don Jr. were eager for cooperation and collaboration with the Russians. The question is, what happened after this meeting? And I think that's something that Bob Mueller is going to look at. I think the meeting in and of itself and Don Jr.'s reaction to an offer of damaging information is truly unprecedented in American politics. And that in and of itself is deeply, deeply troubling, no matter what the legal ramifications are. The idea that a campaign representative would welcome the interference of a foreign power in a U.S. domestic election is truly without precedent, and it is something that should be disturbing to all of us as we think about upcoming elections.
But, Richard, there's a difference between seeing that Don Jr. took this meeting, invited Paul Manafort, invited Jared Kushner to this meeting, versus making a connection to whether or not the president, the now president, then president-elect, or then candidate Trump, actually knew of the meeting or has any connection to anything having to do with Russia.
Well, I'd be shocked if he had not been told about the meeting at the time the meeting took place. We have the top 3 people from his campaign meeting with the Russians after they were sent an email saying that the Russian government wanted to influence this election in favor of Donald Trump and had damaging information on Hillary Clinton. At about the same time, then candidate Trump was tweeting out that he was going to come up with, there are more emails, Hillary Clinton emails, and going on about that. I'd be shocked if he didn't know. And I have to say, I'm getting very tired of hearing all the comparisons to the Clinton campaign. Yes, we had some sharp operators working in the Clinton campaign, and I, of course, would have been happy to criticize them because I've been a Republican for 30 years. But this is not, by way, no way can be a comparison to what the Clinton people, some low-level operative was doing in the Ukraine or whatever. Those are the top 3 people in the Trump campaign who are meeting with the Russian agents, promised damaging information on opposing candidate, and this meeting probably would have been illegal. Coordination even have been with Americans, because you're not supposed to be coordinating with outside groups. That violates campaign finance laws. I'm shocked that no one called a lawyer for the Trump campaign, right, and proposed, what we should do, asked what we should do about this meeting. Apparently they just go in there and they do it, and I think the then candidate Trump must have known about it. His lawyer now blames the Secret Service, which is absolutely absurd. The Secret Service does not clear people for meeting with Donald Trump Jr., but the Secret Service would clear people for meeting with the candidate, Mr. Trump.
Not to cut you off here, but it's important to note that NBC News has confirmed that the Secret Service was not protecting Don Jr. At the time of this meeting. Just to put that out there.
Of course not.
Yeah.
And so why is the lawyer for the president saying that the Secret Service is to blame? That only makes sense. And the Secret Service only would have known about this meeting if there was a proposal for Donald Trump Sr., the candidate, who is protected by the Secret Service, to attend the meeting. So maybe there's more smoke there. I don't know. But we have lawyers going on TV and telling falsehoods on behalf of their clients. The administration has been lying about contacts with the Russians for 6 months. Every time there's a new revelation, they say, what about Hillary? What about Hillary? Well, we're getting sick and tired of hearing about Hillary. Donald Trump is president of the United States. They got to stop lying and let the American people know what happened with the Russians so we can go about the business of this country.
Yeah, Donald Trump certainly is president. Hillary Clinton is not. Richard, what's next for this investigation? Excuse me, Andrew, what's next for this investigation here?
Well, I think the question is going to be, what happened next? Was this the only occasion where the Russians tried to coordinate with the Trump campaign? It seems unlikely. And so now they will be looking at emails, questioning members of the campaign and the Trump family about what other connections and contacts they had. And indeed, what was the outcome of this meeting? What were the do-outs? What was the next steps? And so Bob Mueller has his hands full in following up, but it seems that this is going to lead to more and more questions in the investigation.
Yeah, so much has evolved over the past 6 months involving this Russia investigation. And like we've been telling everybody, we're going to get more into that in the next hour. Joyce Vance, Andrew Shapiro, and Richard Painter, thank you all for joining me on this Sunday evening.